Mark Megan's Weekly Roast. Proudly supported by Cialis for Men. Are you one of nearly 3 in 10 men experiencing erectile dysfunction? Why not have a quick, discreet chat with your pharmacist about Cialis for Men 10mg film-coated tablets, which contains tadalafil. Now available without prescription in pharmacies nationwide. Find out more at cialisformen.ie. To be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity. Always read the label. GoLoud.
Welcome back to the Weekly Roast. How's it going, guys? How the hell are you? How are your hearts? And of course, how are your heads? Guys, Mark Megan's Weekly Roast is proudly brought to you by Cialis for Men, helping you get and keep a throbbing erection, it doesn't say throbbing, an erection whenever you need it. I am so happy to be working with a brand that will help men, not just with their erections, but in realising that there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nearly 3 in 10 males have experienced ED, but only 1 in 4 are comfortable discussing it. Let's change that, Michael. Cialis for Men is now available without prescription from pharmacies nationwide. All it takes is a quick chat with your pharmacist and you're off to the races. To be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity, contains tadalafil. Always read the label. Welcome to the Table of Madness, Mystery Mick. How are we?
I'm very well, Mark. The throbbing got me there. Enjoyed that. How are you?
Less about the boners. Move on. Move on.
Okay.
We have bigger fish to fry.
We certainly do.
Good God.
Oh my good God is right.
Oh, what a week. Oh, what a week.
Only me.
Only me. It's been some week. Guys, if you're just joining us for the first time in this sister-in-law debacle, I suggest you go back to last week's episode.
Yes.
Of Sisters in Law and Order, because you have a lot of catching up to do. I feel like the most appropriate way to begin this episode is to give everybody the lay of the land.
Yeah, a recap would be helpful.
I was asked for a table of events, or a family tree, a diagram of a family tree.
Oh, I like that.
So, okay, first things first, thank you. If you're joining us for the first or second time, you're very welcome. Last week's episode completely exploded. Many new listeners, and I hope you're all going back and listening to previous episodes, etc. It's great to have you with us.
Absolutely.
You'll get used to the accent. If you enjoy the podcast...
Which one?
Easy. Steady on. If you enjoy the podcast, Mark Megan's Weekly Roast, do us a favour and click follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, so a new episode will pop up for you in your feed every single week. Furthermore, my friends, if you enjoy the show, do me a favour and follow me on Instagram at MeganMark. I have a soaring, borderline maniacal ego complex, but beneath that there is a crushing lack of self-esteem, and I am nourished solely by compliments. So if you enjoy the podcast, send me a message on Instagram and let me know. Last but not least, the tour, the Good Stuff stage show, is sold out in Cork and Galway. They are the last shows of 2025. However, fret not. We have spoken to the powers that be, and they are releasing some production tickets this week for Galway. So stay very close to my Instagram and you can grab those extra tickets whenever they become available in Galway, for Galway. Good stuff.
Amazing.
Literally good stuff. Before we begin, I would just like to remind everybody that it is a bit confusing at times, some of this. You know, navigating these sort of treacherous family debacles, It's like trying to drive through Dublin City. Damn it! Like trying to drive through Dublin City Centre. Am I right? Fucking nightmare, by the way.
That orbital system is the least effective thing.
It took us 1 hour and 41 minutes to drive from Castleknock into the city centre on the weekend.
Doesn't surprise me.
It is trying to navigate your way through Dublin city centre in a car is like trying to navigate a conversation with your mother after she's had 3 glasses of Sauvignon.
Oh, no.
You know when your mum's had 3 glasses of wine and she just goes, Mark, what is a podcast? And you're like, oh, shoot me. You know when your mum requires like 2-factor authentication just to work? It's just... I love the woman more than life in itself, but I just... And again, I loved wine more than life in itself. So I don't know who I am to judge. But you know when you're quitting, your mum just goes, Mark, Chinese people, no, we're not doing this. I'm just in it. By the way, I'm in tetchy form today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out.
Well, I had my lunch in my bag.
Oh, really? Okay.
Realised as I was getting out of the car.
Yeah.
Forgot to toast the bagel. Worst thing. A bagel untoasted is... I don't want to make a vulgar comparison, but having a bagel untoasted is like going into a restaurant and asking for a Coke Zero, and the waiter comes over and says, sorry, we don't have a Coke Zero. Would a warm glass of donkey placenta be okay? And you go... Of course not. Also, what a peculiar Scottish accent. Were you Egyptian Glasgow? Both in one. Mental. Nevertheless, brace yourselves.
Okay.
Sisters in Law and Order, the sequel.
Dum dum.
What were your thoughts after last week? Jane got a lot of hate.
Yes, she certainly did.
The tables were turned in terms of... People initially were very anti-Jane.
Yes.
And then, because of the message around the watch and the €1,000 for the watch. Mm-hmm. But then Jane came on and gave her story around Kerry, and that completely obliterated all of the preconceptions surrounding Jane.
It was jaw-dropping. It really was.
I suppose for me the most insane thing about all this is it's the fact these people are willing to do this so publicly.
They are so convinced that they are right in their situation.
But they're shameless. I don't understand. And Kerry spoke to me last week. Kerry got on to me and she had said that she'd be willing to come on and speak in the podcast if I was to plug her yoga page.
Amazing.
I don't think she wants that though. I don't think she realises. So the messages that I've been giving, like somebody sent me a message yesterday and was like, can't wait for the yoga page to drop. Myself and my friends have a plan. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Okay, well, I'm definitely not going to publish anybody's personal details now, because what are you threatening?
What has the sentiment been like? Because obviously your DMs are crazy at the best of times.
Yeah.
So like what sort of feedback have you been getting?
So the feedback has been the husbands are getting a lot of blame.
Really?
Yeah. So let's just start with the family diagram.
Okay.
Kerry was the first person to contact me.
Yes.
Via DM to say that she had received, she had been in trouble because her and her husband were expected to pay €1,000 each, which I still need to clarify that each, because that seems mental to me. Either way, it's mental, but they were expected to pay €1,000 each towards her brother-in-law's birthday, and her brother-in-law is her husband, so Kerry's husband's sister, who is Jane, her husband's birthday.
That's very interlinked already. Or not interlinked, but that's chaotic already.
Well, some families are closer than others.
Okay, yeah, true.
So we have to allow that.
Yeah, true.
But I suppose that's what started it all. Okay, so Kerry sends that in, grand. Everyone went crazy, was like, this is outrageous, blah, blah, blah. And then halfway through that roast, Jane got in touch with me via the question box, but was like, oh, I know this couple. And then as soon as we started DMing, she's like, I'm the sister-in-law. Which
was strange, I thought. Just be upfront.
And part of me was like, is this a big scam? Okay. As in, is this all just a marketing thing to get attention on, what's her name, Kerry's yoga page?
Imagine.
Well, it would have been smart, but then I was like, no, because as soon as I went onto the Zoom that last Sunday, as in 10 days ago, I was like, no, because you could see her, and then the husband, who's this he's not Irish.
Okay.
I'm not saying that pejoratively. He's just fucking Egypt from Spain. Fucking gazpacho coming out of his mouth. You know what I mean? Jesus. No, I don't mean riding a bull, you know? I just mean, not doing a day's... No. But I just meant he was sort of standing there sheepishly, not really... He didn't want to have anything to do with it. But at the same time... not embarrassed by his wife's interest in getting thrown herself into this drama.
So one thing I'm curious about is their role in this, because there's a line between someone saying I'm not getting involved and just enabling crazy behaviour.
But also you're appearing on a Zoom with a doughy comedian of a Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? Oh, honey, I mean, honey, I don't want to be involved. But maybe we should use a Microsoft Teams. I've got that Teams account. Do you know what I mean? I got that Teams account. We can log in with my work email. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, that's the family tree.
Okay.
Kerry's brother, or sorry, no, damn, I've completely... Kerry's husband...
It is very confusing.
Kerry's husband is Jane's brother.
Okay. Kerry's husband is Jane's brother.
And I think all of this, ultimately, that he is the missing link. Or at least I thought that until I spoke to Kerry this morning.
Okay. So how did that go?
I mean, I need to choose my words carefully here because I'm trying to evoke Louis Theroux, and like, what would Louis say if he, he manages to maintain a sort of objective and like... It makes Prince Andrew's Newsnight interview seem like the King's speech.
Oh my God.
I feel like whenever you're, under pressure and you're going into an interview dynamic, just don't say that you're incapable of sweating or mention like a British Pizza Express and you're going to come out okay.
That couldn't have happened, yes.
My conversation with Kerry was genuinely quite a lot.
Okay.
I am very, very surprised of her line of thinking, shall I say.
So what is it in her line of thinking that is so far beyond the realm of like reality or possibility?
Well, it's not that it's... You see, that's the thing. The problem is, again, because I've spoken to both of them now, they're both nice and normal people when you talk to them. Yeah, this is what really gets me. They're not crazy in many respects. It's just that there's like a blinkered perspective that, I don't know, it's just... Okay. Kerry is having her moment in the sun, okay? I spoke to her this morning. She was offended, shall I say, by Jane's approach to the podcast last week. She wanted to have her turn. I spoke to her for around 20 minutes and then she sent me this. It's not edited. She said I can send it as it is, so fair enough.
Brilliant. She
didn't want to do the interview broadcast because she said that if I'm cutting across, I'll be making fun of her. And it's like, okay, but like I can do that with this anyway. But
yeah.
So, my word was that I wouldn't edit this, so I haven't edited this. Okay, this is straight from the horse's mouth or the gorilla's mouth.
Or the
straight from the donkey bastard's mouth. Straight from the chops. The dribbly chops.
From the
gnashers. Straight from the salivic tongue. Okay. Without any further ado, thank you for listening to Mark Megan's Weekly Roast. This is the interview with Kerry. On y va.
Hi Mark, I am only saying this to set the record straight. I do not believe in childish conflict like this, as unlike Jane, I'm not stuck in secondary school still trying to impress the cool girls and get the attention of the Andrews boys.
Oh.
I'm adult and I have to protect my energy without opening myself up to, energy drains.
Interesting.
I'll not be stooping down to her level, no matter how tempting it might be. First thing first, she's a lying bitch.
Okay, hold on a second here. I need to protect my energy, she says. She's the one that started this.
Not in her mind, obviously.
She sent in the first DM about the watch.
That's...
I don't know.
But is she the type, like from the call, was she kind of trying to take the moral high ground now?
She's like that this has been foisted upon her, but also she's like, I won't be stooping as low. First things first, she's a bitch. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
She's a lying bitch. I never borrowed €9,000. It was just over 8,000. And I promised that once I started working regularly that I would repay it. I don't see what the problem is there.
Well,
it's not a lot of money to me, and she was the one who offered it to me in the first place.
Sorry?
And obviously I'm happy to get it back to her when I'm earning regularly. I just haven't, selected a day-to-day working path.
No, hold on a second. It's 8. Okay, firstly, it's not 9 grand. It's 8.5. And then she says it's not a lot of money to me.
Well, it's a life-changing amount of money.
But also it is, because you didn't have it.
Yes.
It's not a lot of money that you didn't have.
If you grow up in privilege but you still don't maintain that. Like, you know, like it's,
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
a lot of money. She didn't have it.
Oh, can I feel your breasts? No, you can only feel one. Oh, why are you disappointed? That's one more breast than you were able to feel earlier. This is not the usual analogy I go to, by the way. Darren, are we going to your, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so she's sort of looking. This is what really annoyed me when I was talking to her. She was really trivialising the amount of money as if it's just this like, 40 quid to go to whatever. And it's like, no, 8 grand, yes, whatever, take it or leave it. At the end of the day, for people like me, it's like, no, but for people like you who had to borrow that money.
Totally.
So I don't understand where there's like this sort of snobbery is coming from. 8.5 grand is a lot of money by any accounts, right? Yeah. Okay, sorry, maybe to fucking, excuse my language, but like to people who are like ridiculously rich, 8,000 euro isn't a lot. But like it's a car or it's a yoga course in Thailand.
Absolutely.
So she said it's not a lot of money. And then she goes, this is what gets me. She says she's willing to pay her back whenever she's earning regularly. Yeah. And then she says, I haven't chosen my day-to-day work path. If there's ever TikTok language for spoof, that is an example of the internet rotting our brains.
But did you get any sense of, you know, that like new age kind of wellness, individualism to a fault?
Literally.
Really?
Well, like, yeah, like even the language that she's using, she's calling it like a day, I haven't figured out a day-to-day work path. Unemployed. Also, speaking of social media rotting our brains, this is a complete aside. I got a message from a guy over the weekend. He was like, you know that thing I've been doing on Instagram where I refer to Bertie as B.
Oh, musical.
Yeah, it's a B.
Yeah.
Or it's the B. Hallelujah from Mass. Anyway, I call my dog B. Right? Mm-hmm. This guy messaged me on the weekend. He was like, how are you, Mark? Love the pod. Listen, I was actually on a shoot with your sister-in-law last week, and I went up and I started saying it to her when she was working. She didn't respond, though. Obviously doesn't listen to the pod. Haha. No, man. She obviously doesn't respond to paedophiles whispering in her ear when she's working. Avian on some fashion shoot, and this like guy with the lights coming up and just going, is that all right there, yeah? Her, like, this guy's a pervert. So anyway, Avian, I'm sorry you had to endure that. Anyway. Okay, so back to the job at hand. Yeah. Somebody also messaged me and goes, what part of Kerry is she from? No, her name's Kerry. Okay. Look, so this is... Jay, as far as I'm concerned, Kerry has painted a bit of a picture.
Did you challenge her when you were chatting? Like,
yeah, so I challenged her on the money, and then I also challenged her. The one thing I didn't challenge her on is the whole watch, which I'm annoyed. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's actually nerve-wracking enough interviewing people. It was one of those ones like an argument with the spouse where you have all these things that you want to say. Or a therapy, and then you only say 4% of it, and then you go and you go, fuck, I forgot to tell her I have a son. Do you know what I mean? I'm sleeping in a Saab because my wife discovered I have a son. Nevertheless, I did push her on one thing, right? Which is, my friends, if you're listening to this now, wherever you are, take a deep breath, because there is a moment that will absolutely blow you away, and it's coming very shortly. All I'll say is I pushed her on the context of Jane in terms of, I believe that there has to be more to this whole thing than the watch. Okay. And that's when everything just blew open. Okay. Let's just keep carry on. Okay.
Just yet. Unlike her, I'm not cut out for a desk job where all you do is, crunch numbers and make other people more money.
Having a go.
And unlike her, I would actually like my job to mean something, and I wouldn't just take the first one. My connections get me, if you
Another
know what
go.
I mean. That's why I got into yoga. I didn't like the course, but at least I'm trying to find something I enjoy that actually makes a difference. And then trying to mention the 250,000 euros just really unfair too, because that is separate money, Mark. It's not the same thing at all. And
it is.
I don't know why she's acting like they are.
What?
I hope you can see that, Mark. Like, she's actually such a horse-faced fanny lip.
No, stop the mic. No, I'm not having it. I am not having that. Horse-faced fanny lip. In my life, I have never heard a human being refer to another human being, or a vaginal lip, by the way, as a horse-faced fanny lip. She's clearly getting revenge for donkey bastards.
She just heard the roast morning and she's like, I'm going to double down on that shit.
Horse? Sorry, how could the lip of a fanny be horse-faced? This is absolute...
Big lips.
Stop. A horse-faced fanny. See, this is the thing. Either of these individuals automatically lose every ounce of credibility once they revert or slip into this complete schoolyard physical feature abuse.
They're having these like very, very adult conflicts, and then they're just throwing
a horse-faced fanny lip is just completely preposterous.
It's amazing.
I'm using that.
It's absolutely amazing.
All right, fanny lips, get in. Okay, so she's also looking down on Jane for having a 9 to... This is what I don't like. She's sneering at Jane for having a 9 to 5, and she's like, I actually want to do something with meaning. Yeah, but you're living rent-free, borrowing $9,000 from people.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You're not doing anything.
You're not you're not gainfully employed. Like, I don't... Okay.
No, but also to like... and this really annoys me, to like diminish other people's like ways of living through like saying it's nepotism or something. Like, no, they're contributing. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
I also just absolutely hate this idea that because like I'm not in a 9 to 5, but I don't buy into the seductive nonsense of everyone in a 9 to 5 is unhappy. That's bollocks.
No,
Lots of people in 9 to 5s are incredibly happy.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? Judging anybody else for their life choices because you feel like, oh, you're such a square. Bullshit.
Yeah. Totally.
What's boring to you is not boring to others and blah, blah, blah. So I hate that sneering of like, oh, you're just in the mainstream. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Garbage. So the fanny lips is just... No, stop that. Okay. Let's go.
Fanny lip. If you owe the bank money for a loan but didn't have the cash, but then got given a house, like by an uncle, they couldn't ask you for the house. It's a different asset.
No, wait.
Sorry.
Yes, they could.
They literally could do that.
That's exactly what they do.
This thing's called personal guarantees.
Okay, all right, Bertie.
Oh, Bertie.
Bertie Her in 2007.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
Interesting relationship with the banks there, boy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the bank would do.
That's
the first thing the bank would do. Damn, having a stroke.
Look.
First thing the bank would do, then they'd be like, oh yeah, see that new gaff of yours? Yoink.
I'll have that.
Oi, fanny lips. Istabrack, Istaflaps. Do you know what I mean? So...
That's just such a wild way of looking at money as well.
Separate. You don't get to compartmentalise the money.
No.
When you owe... Like, your debt is, for me, is always at the front of whatever you do. Do you know what I mean? So if you owe money, that's like, no matter what income comes in, the debt's immediately against that, if that makes sense.
Twice in my life, I have received, like, not life-changing amounts of money, but, you know, like a good chunk of change. First thing I've done...
remember the fake fall?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Yeah, super valid.
The olive oil. Yeah.
No, but like, the first thing I've done in both instances is cleared my debt. Like, and it's not even up for debate, because... And
I just don't know how this person could go to bed at night knowing, right? So you've got 250 swidgos in the bank. You've got 250 swidgos in the bank.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, somebody has given you somewhere between 8 and 9 grand for you to go off to stretch. No, I shouldn't demean yoga, but like, you've gone off to do yoga for a few weeks in Thailand. Somebody's paid you for that. Effectively a luxury jolly up. And it's not in the forefront of your mind to go, just clear that debt immediately.
It's entitlement. It's pure and utter entitlement.
That is what it is, isn't it?
It is. And like, did you, like, I'm not going to say like there's an air of money, but when you were talking to her, like, did she...
Yeah, like, she's very comfortable.
Is she, yeah?
Well, she's head to toe in aloe gear, which is like the Rolls Royce of yoga gear. It's like 700 swidgos for a bralette or whatever they call them.
Okay. So yeah, there's a pattern here. Would that be fair to say?
There is a pattern.
Okay,
let's go. A lot to get through.
The house, it's a different asset. It's apples and oranges. It's classic and manipulative behaviour by Jane to say those things in the same sentence in a convincing way to make it seem like they're the same. That 250 is my rainy day, which is security if things don't work out. When I do start work...
Sorry. It is raining. It's lashing.
Things aren't working.
Joanna Donnelly's out there with the brolly looking for a gig now that she's been thrown out of ours. By the way, her retiring from the race as if she's pulling out like halfway through the thing. She didn't even get on the... Oh, don't even get me started. But it's lashing rain now.
Yeah.
What's your rainy day fund? Well, you owe family members a lot of money and it's affecting your relationship. Rainy day fund.
That is literally what it's for.
But she goes, it's a rainy day fund for when I start working. So she's not working now, but she's saving this 250k as a security measure for when she starts working should things not go right.
So she can buy a 2-bed in Brittany. You know, if she needs to get away, God love her.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
Got it for next to nothing, you know, the way. There are many details which Jane chose to leave out when telling you about this. She's as manipulative as they come. The reason I know this is because I knew her long before my husband. We went to UCD at the same time. And guess who introduced me to my husband? Jane.
There it is.
That's one detail she likes to conveniently forget.
Yep.
Guess who spent her J1 together in Montauk? Myself and Jane.
There it is.
Guess who bailed her out when she got arrested in a night out for jaywalking, and she started bawling because she thought this meant she wouldn't be able to come back to the US and bring her kids to Disneyland. She's older, blah, blah, blah.
We get it.
And this is when she's 21, by the way. Guess whose idea it was to move into their apartment in the first place? We had nowhere to stay, and then she offered. Herself and her husband are creaming it money-wise, so
relevant.
we said, okay, cool. There was never any mention of rent, so I was hardly going to make things awkward and bring it up randomly when it wasn't a thing.
No. Hold on,
I've
sorry.
not tried to go viral.
Sorry, it is a thing.
It is.
This whole... you've been invited to move into this person's house because you said that you couldn't find anywhere to live, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes, there was never any mention of rent because you didn't mention it.
You're mooching.
You're the moocher here.
I don't want to be awkward. No, you don't want to pay.
I don't want to be awkward. I don't want to talk about things like money. Yeah, because you are the one that will have to pay
it's
the money. It's
convenient for you to not do that.
You know those friends, they're like, sure, look, we'll figure all that out later.
Yeah.
Because you owe the money, like.
Absolutely. There is nothing I find more like frustrating or upsetting than that within a friend.
I didn't want to bring up the money, make things awkward. Why is it awkward? Because you'd have to go down to the bank account.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I know that this is usually a comedy podcast, and this episode itself is actually just enraging me. But
well, it's a roast, and this is very roastable. People need to hear this. Can I just take it back to one thing? She mentioned that she introduced a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there was a level of like not jealousy, but
well, this is the crux of it, that there's clearly a relationship. Obviously, the relationship she has with Jane predates the one that she has with her husband.
Is there a power dynamic is what I suppose I'm wondering. Like, did you feel that they're kind of nearly trying to one-up each other?
No, I didn't get that because they're very different. Like,
really?
To be fair, if you met them both, you would not... The only thing that they have in common is that they're both sort of South Dublin and I would say definitely both very privileged.
Okay.
You know? And if there's one thing that I hate, it's South Dublin pups. They are... No, but like... The serious the only consistency there is that because Kerry is very, shall I say, spiritual.
Okay.
Albeit like the premium, whatever, expensive version. Like, you know, she's got like the sort of wristbands or whatever those thing beads on, but like she's wearing a head to toe in aloe. So it's like, you know, the $1,000 yoga outfit.
Yeah.
A
spoofer.
I can't say that because she has me on Zoom now.
Okay,
so
okay.
like, whereas Jane is like corporate.
Yeah. Okay.
In her 40s. Like she's very much like, a serious corporate individual.
Yeah. Okay.
Albeit one who likes mentioning barnyard animals. So for me, it's like there's the relationship. I think there's an element of both of them living in a way that the other one wants but won't admit it.
Interesting.
I would say Jane is like, well, fuck you anyway. I'm working hard.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm earning money, but it's all relative. And I'm like breaking my back working money. Meanwhile, you're this like freeloader spoofer who's heading off to Thailand, blah, blah, blah. And I would say maybe, but the thing is, hold on, they're married. Like, if she was just a girlfriend, I'd be like, grand, maybe it's normal. It's the fact that they are in the same family now.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I just want to play a bit more because there's a massive revelation.
Okay.
So, go on.
Things awkward and bring it up randomly when it wasn't a thing. And I've not tried to go viral. A lot of my yoga videos are online, but that's normal, obviously. You know, the social media industry, Mark, you know it well. You have to put your face out there when creating a brand. Jane, of all people, should understand that as well. It's just So now we'll get to the reason this actually started.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
So she didn't tell you about the tarts.
Here we go.
Jane's
tarts.
famous raspberry tarts. She made raspberry tarts during COVID and tried to start a page on Insta.
No.
I think she had aspirations to like become the South Dublin Nigella Lawson.
Let's go.
She ordered ring lights off Temu and like tried to make the kitchen in the apartment look like a station from Bake Off. She got all of us to share the page to our Insta stories and all that stuff.
God.
The
I've seen the
problem was
screenshots.
that her tarts tasted like absolute literal ass. Nobody had the heart to tell her. She started selling them and we all bought them, and she was driving around way beyond the 2K.
Shots fired.
Guilting friends and family into buying this disgusting tart. Like, you forgive her for that, but what really pissed me off at the time was that she was saying they were 100% her own making, but she was using the rollout pastry from the shop. So the only thing that was her own was this rancid raspberry mix. She sold about 100 of these to friends and family and made about 2 or 3k, yet she still wants me to pay her back 8k that I borrowed literally years ago.
Hold on
In the
a
end,
second here. Sorry, hold on. 20 quid for a tart. What is this, like a brothel in Wales in the 80s? Wales under Thatcher? No, that's completely outrageous. But hold on a second here. To say the plot has thickened.
Like the tart.
All right, mate.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Go on.
All right,
go
Crew
on.
Leith.
Oh, go on.
All Hollywood. Just mate, Bake Off things.
Yeah.
Matt Puke, Lucas. So Jane tried to become an influencer.
Oh.
No, it's too good to be true. Well, an influencer is the wrong word. Like a raspberry tart. It's a niche.
Yes.
It's definitely a niche to become a raspberry tart purveyor. Would it be purveyor or proprietor? No. English failing me once again.
Yeah.
So Jane tried to set up an Instagram page.
This explains so much, I feel.
What did I say about them wanting to live a little bit like the other person?
Yes.
So she tries to set up an Instagram page during COVID. By the way, who didn't?
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know, there are lots of businesses, successful businesses that came out of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a lot of interesting things on social media.
Yeah.
It led me to get help. You know
There
what
you
I mean? It's always good when you wake up from a night out and you get messages being like, I think I've been really... I'll be like drinking on my own in my bedroom. And I'll be there thinking, this is hilarious. I'm fucking nailing the gram all night, posting like 60 stories. And I wake up to just messages be like, are you okay? That's always
The ones I used to love was, hey man, always here if you need a chat.
oh my god. Oh my god. So anyway, raspberry tart.
Yeah.
So she's setting up a raspberry tart business during COVID. And the raspberry tarts are lit. Okay, I want to hear the rest of this about the tarts.
Okay.
Wants me to pay her back 8k that I borrowed literally years ago.
Yes.
You should.
In the end, I pulled her aside and told her that she should let the whole tart thing die, and she threw this massive fit saying I was just jealous because she had a following on social media.
Oh.
545 followers.
Oh, good luck.
I then said that, it's not my fault her tarts tasted like beetroot and fucking dick.
No.
That's pretty much when she stopped talking to me and looking for reasons to fall out. So yeah, that's when things got touchy, and ever since then she's excessively critical of my life choices and like acting like, any business on social media is somehow cheating or fraudulent.
Okay, just a second here. Beetroot and dick is... They're not your common garden variety flavours of tart. You don't do that. You don't pick that up in Lidl on your way over to a barbecue last minute. Oh, fuck, we need to bring something. Just nip into the old there. They must have apple rhubarb, beetroot and dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, though, I don't believe that a friendship that clearly spans more than a decade would be incinerated over comparing someone's tart to dick.
There's a lot of ego here. There's a lot,
I would say the Instagram, like we all know, putting yourself out there on socials is not easy. And there's a lot of imposter syndrome. And particularly if you grow up in Ireland, there's so many people who are just like cringe. You do anything on social media, it's like cringe.
Ireland in general, but I think South Dublin is the highest level of that. Particularly when you do anything outside the norm.
Oh yeah, like I would say, you know, the way I get messages from people sometimes saying, "Oh, I grew up in like this tiny rural Irish village and it's really close-minded and stuff." I would like put the house on it that South Dublin is the most close-minded and sort of clannish and insular, and you know, the tall poppy syndrome more than anywhere I've encountered anywhere else in Ireland.
Couldn't agree more.
And if anybody deviates from the path, it's good luck.
But I think that's what's going on a lot here. And like you kind of said it, but with them wanting to live each other's lives, you have someone who's free-spirited and very entitled, and someone who maybe wants to be that way, but is kind of a slave to.
And then
the rat race.
The fact that Kerry's so quick to pull her, well, why is she not supporting her friend? Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. Now, to be fair, I actually knew somebody as well. No, I have to be careful. But
Come on.
They started calling themselves a photographer during COVID.
Oh, no.
And she was like, I'm going to set up a website and put them for sale. I was like, amazing. And it's just like literally photos of like the green. And like, how much is that? €750. Good stuff. Good stuff. Won't sell one. And it won't be sort of like a Van Gogh where you become successful when you're dead. Like, it's gone.
It's done.
It's over. But like, I feel like she should have been maybe more supportive of Jane.
Yeah.
In this pursuit of. And were the tarts that bad?
Like, there's no way a raspberry tart could be that bad. There's no way. And like, we were all doing stuff like this over COVID. Like, we were busying ourselves. So like, yeah, just show your mates some support and pay them back.
Yeah. This is so she goes, she made 2 or 3 grand from the tarts, yet she still wants. Yes, it's separate. You owe the money. Why is she viewing all of this money in a way of like, well, she made money there, she doesn't need my money. You owe the person money, pay it back. You got to give it back. Do you know what I mean?
I'm with you 100%.
Okay, on y va. There's only a little bit left in this.
Not only that, but I also got invited to one of her good friends' weddings, and she didn't get the invite because they fell out too. What did they fall out over? Money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've always been fond of her as a girl, and I'm a big believer in live and let live. That's the lifestyle I lead. So I'd be happy enough to draw a line under it all now and just move on.
Sorry, you'd be happy to draw, assumingly forgetting the debt. Oh, look, we'll all just move on from that now. Wipe the slate clean. I don't owe you a little over 8 grand. You don't owe me anything. We'll all sit around a raspberry torte.
We'll agree to disagree.
Don't you hate when someone says that?
Stop. Drives me mad. Oh, man, this is actually making me feel like angry. This is upsetting me.
I think I don't know where to go with it. I think ultimately the missing link here is her husband, who's the brother. But he's not going near it.
Is he not? Have you pushed that at all?
No, I spoke to the other husband last night.
Okay.
I don't know why I took such a dislike to him, but I just, you know, when somebody just instantly, you're like, you're such a coward, feeble bitch. Meek little Barcelonian bastard. Nothing to do with the Barcelona, but
oh God,
the brother is the Holy Grail. He holds the keys and he's not getting into it.
Do you see any...
their parents, Jane and his parents, by the way, they don't live in Ireland, so apparently they're like, they don't care.
Okay.
Because they've like retired into like somewhere in France.
Okay.
So I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I think...
Okay, having spoken to the two of them, where do you feel you naturally align to? Or who do you align to?
Honestly, I think they are both wrong in certain ways, but I think Kerry is... Like, she owes the woman €9,000. Pay the fucking money. You live rent-free in somebody's house. Whatever about that. Because that's... She's not going to recoup the cost for that, but like... Give the money back. That was like a tangible, a specific sum of money was transferred to your account. Send it back.
Do you think the watch is getting bought?
I would say gazpacho bread. No, like just having... I would say if the Dali fan club is I don't know, man. It makes you think your family are... Well, no, it doesn't. No. They're still fucking loons. No, in comparison to this, he's still mental. Oh, fuck. I was hoping for more of a resolution, but I guess, sorry, the fact that she thinks that there could be a relationship there.
Do you think that like this friendship is
salvageable?
Salvageable, yeah.
Salvageable. It's a word that is not suitable for the South Dublin mouth.
No.
Yeah, would you say like it's salvageable? No. I think that this level of, well, maybe it is, but I think some people also exist in, they're comfortable in turbulence. Some people are more suited towards relationships that require these constant roller coasters. The chaos is their norm.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm totally with you. Do you think they're more interested in being right or being friends?
I'd say, to be honest, I'd say both of them get off a little bit on it.
Okay.
I'd say both of those horse face. No, I can't. I'm not talking about either of their lips. But can
I make a suggestion?
Go on.
Having listened to both sides, I think there's a pair at the minute, but I do feel like this conflict has gotten worse or has been exacerbated by the raspberry tarts. Could we get one of them made to see how bad they were?
That's the greatest contribution you've ever had to this podcast. More so than talking about your granny that time. Or your deceased cat. Genuinely. That is phenomenal.
What do we think?
I'll try. But I don't know how likely it's... Either that or it's a free yoga lesson from Kerry. She'll probably charge us $9,000. Yeah, Kerry, I'm just looking through your prices here. It says it's $8,500. The difference, you see, the thing is, the difference of these people, I feel like, having a normal relationship and not is so small. Like this whole raspberry tart thing, in the grand scheme of things, it's tiny.
Do you think so?
Well, it's like the difference between if you go to a leisure centre. I go to a leisure centre and I feel perfectly normal, okay?
Okay.
I stroll through. I get my little locker that has a lock. That's fine. It's a bit annoying, but you figure it out.
Yeah.
Then you make your way into the pool area. So, sorry, sir, you're going to need a swimming hat. Sorry? Yeah, if you want to use the pool, you have to have a swimming hat. Well, I don't have one. Oh, you can buy one for $3.50 a thing. Great stuff. What sort of size are we talking? Well, what size is your head? Like, are we talking space hopper or are we talking like Jewish yarmulke thing? You know those little...
yarmulke, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, anyway, great, now buy the swimming hat. Put it on. Good stuff. Paedophile. The margin between Mark and nonce is so small.
It's a swim cap.
It's a swim cap. I encourage any listener, if you're feeling good about yourself, put on a swim cap. That'll humble you.
Yeah, I agree.
Michelle de Bruyne, okay?
Niche.
Oh, fuck, that's all for today. Let's go.
Mark Megan's Weekly Roast. Proudly supported by Cialis for Men. Struggling with erectile dysfunction? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Cialis for Men 10mg film-coated tablets, which contains tadalafil, is now available without prescription. Just a quick, discreet chat with your pharmacist, in person or online, can help. Find it at pharmacies nationwide or visit www.cialisformen.ie for more details. To be taken at least 30 minutes prior to anticipated sexual activity. Always read the label.